Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving into some crucial news for all SASSA grant recipients out there. July 2025 is just around the corner, and it's that time again when SASSA grant payments roll out across the country. Whether you rely on these payments to support your family or help with daily expenses, it's absolutely essential to know exactly when your payment will arrive so you don't miss out. Missing your grant payment can cause unnecessary stress and delays, so staying informed is key. Now, SASSA has made some updates and adjustments to their payment schedules recently, so even if you've received grants smoothly before, it's important to double-check the latest schedule. Different types of grants, like the old age grant, disability grant, child support grant, and others, have specific payment dates, and these dates might vary by region or payment method. Understanding your exact payment date means you can plan ahead, avoid long queues, and ensure your funds are accessible when you need them most. For those who receive grants through biometric card payments, cash payments, or direct deposits, it's good to stay aware of the differences in timing. Some methods may release payments earlier than others, so knowing your method helps you anticipate when your money will hit your account or be ready for pickup. Plus, with new systems in place to improve efficiency and reduce fraud, SASSA is continually refining its process, so staying up to date is more important than ever. If you're new to the SASSA grant system or helping family members who are, this video will guide you through everything you need to know about the July 2025 payment schedule. We'll cover where to check official dates, what documents to have ready, and tips for avoiding common problems during payment collection. So, before we get started, please take a moment to hit the like button if you want to stay updated with all the latest SASSA news and helpful guides. Your support helps this channel bring you accurate, timely information that makes a real difference. Now, let's jump right into the full payment schedule and what you need to know for July 2025. Now that we have set the stage with the importance of knowing your SASSA grant payment dates for July 2025, let's take a closer look at how the payment schedule works, what you should expect, and how you can ensure you receive your grant without any hassles. Understanding this process is crucial because SASSA grants are lifelines for millions of South Africans. These payments often provide the means for basic needs such as food, healthcare, and shelter. Missing out on a payment, or not knowing when it will be released, can cause a lot of unnecessary stress. SASSA, or the South African Social Security Agency, is responsible for distributing social grants to eligible citizens. These include old age pensions, disability grants, child support grants, foster child grants, and other social relief payments. Each grant type has its own payment dates, usually staggered to avoid overwhelming the payment systems and to make it easier for beneficiaries to access their funds. For July 2025, it's important to familiarize yourself with the exact dates relevant to your grant type. One of the first things to note is that SASSA payments are often made over a span of several days during the month, not all on the first day. This staggered approach helps manage queues at pay points and allows for smoother processing. For example, the older age grant payments might start on the first week of July, while child support grants could be paid out in the second or third week. By knowing your exact payment day, you can plan your visit to the pay point and avoid unnecessary waiting. The method by which you receive your payment can also affect the timing. Some recipients get their grants paid into their bank accounts via direct deposit, which is usually the fastest method and allows immediate access to funds. Others may receive cash payments through pay points managed by service providers contracted by SASSA. These can be local banks, retail stores, or specific pay points set up for social grant distribution. Additionally, biometric systems have been implemented to reduce fraud and ensure that only eligible recipients receive the payments, which adds an extra layer of security but also requires proper verification at the time of collection. It's also important to note that SASSA uses an identity verification system involving fingerprints and sometimes facial recognition to confirm the identity of the beneficiary. This biometric verification helps prevent fraud but also means that beneficiaries must present themselves in person or at designated points to authenticate before collecting payments. If you miss your scheduled date, you may have to wait for the next payment cycle or visit a SASSA office to resolve the issue, so punctuality is key. Many beneficiaries ask about the official ways to check their payment dates. The most reliable sources are the SASSA website and official social media channels. SASSA also sends SMS notifications to registered recipients about upcoming payments and any changes in the schedule. If you haven't registered your mobile number with SASSA, it's highly recommended to do so to receive timely updates and avoid missing critical information. Community radio stations and local government offices often also announce grant payment schedules, especially in rural areas where internet access might be limited. In recent years, SASSA has also introduced online portals and apps to help beneficiaries track their grant status and payment schedules. While these platforms are helpful, not everyone has access to smartphones or reliable internet connections, so traditional methods of communication remain important. If you rely on a caregiver or family member, make sure they are also informed about payment dates and processes to assist you if necessary. Understanding the payment schedule also means being aware of any public holidays or weekends that could affect payment processing. For example, if a payment date falls on a public holiday, the payment might be processed a day earlier or later. This is essential information because arriving at the pay point on a holiday might mean the payment is not yet available, leading to frustration and wasted time. Always double-check the calendar for such adjustments before planning your payment collection. Another factor to consider is the documentation you need when collecting your grant payment. Most SASSA beneficiaries are required to present valid identification, such as an ID book, smart ID card, or passport. For caregivers or representatives collecting on behalf of the beneficiary, a letter of authorization or legal document is often necessary. Ensuring that you have the correct paperwork helps avoid delays or denial of payment at the pay point. It's a good idea to check SASSA's guidelines on acceptable documents and prepare them in advance. Let's talk a bit about the importance of SASSA grants in the broader social context. For many South Africans, social grants are a vital source of income, especially in communities with high unemployment rates and limited economic opportunities. The grants provide a safety net that allows families to survive during tough times. With inflation and rising costs of living, the value of these grants and timely payments cannot be overstated. Missing a payment could mean skipped meals or unpaid bills, which is why awareness and preparation are crucial. Furthermore, the government periodically reviews grant amounts to adjust for inflation and other economic factors. While this video focuses on payment dates, it's worth noting that any changes to grant amounts will usually be announced ahead of time. Keeping an eye on such announcements ensures beneficiaries understand not just when they get paid, but also how much they should expect. If your payment seems less than usual, checking the official notices can clarify if this is due to policy changes or administrative errors. Let's also consider what happens if you miss your scheduled payment date. SASSA typically allows a grace period during which you can still claim your grant without penalty. However, this period is limited, and delays in collection could cause complications. If the payment is missed beyond the grace period, beneficiaries may need to visit a SASSA office or customer service center to resolve the issue, which can be time-consuming and stressful. This is another reason why knowing your payment schedule and sticking to it is so important. The payment process itself has evolved over the years, with more emphasis on digitization and fraud prevention. The biometric verification system has been a significant step forward in ensuring that grants go only to rightful beneficiaries. However, this has also introduced challenges, especially for elderly recipients who might find technology intimidating or difficult to navigate. Community centers and local government offices often offer assistance in biometric registration and grant application processes. If you or a loved one face difficulties, reaching out to these support centers can make a huge difference. In rural areas, accessing payment points can sometimes be challenging due to distance, transportation issues, or limited pay point availability. To address this, SASSA and its partners have been working on expanding payment options and increasing the number of pay points closer to remote communities. Mobile payment vans and outreach programs help bring services to those who cannot easily travel. If you live far from a pay point, it's important to stay in contact with local officials or SASSA representatives to learn about upcoming mobile payment schedules or special arrangements. There are also important security tips every beneficiary should keep in mind when collecting grants. Because cash payments can attract criminal activity, it's advised to go to payment points during daylight hours and preferably with a trusted companion. Avoid sharing your payment schedule publicly, especially on social media, to reduce the risk of theft or scams. Always keep your grant card and identification documents safe, and report any suspicious activities to the authorities. Let's talk briefly about some common issues beneficiaries face during payment collection. Technical glitches in biometric systems, temporary closures of pay points, or staff shortages can sometimes cause delays. When these happen, it's important to remain patient but proactive. Contacting SASSA customer service or visiting their website for announcements can provide updates on when payments will resume. Local community leaders can also be valuable sources of information in these situations. In addition to regular grant payments, SASSA occasionally offers special relief grants during emergencies or economic downturns. While this video focuses on the July 2025 schedule, it's good to be aware of any supplementary grants or programs that may be announced. Staying connected with official SASSA channels ensures you don't miss out on these extra supports. Another important topic is how to report changes in your personal circumstances. If your income status changes, you move to a new address, or you experience any significant life event, it's critical to inform SASSA as soon as possible. Failure to update your information can lead to payment delays or suspension of benefits. Most updates can be done through local SASSA offices or online portals. Keeping your records current helps ensure smooth payment processing. For those who are new to the SASSA system or are helping family members navigate it, understanding the application process is equally important. Applying for social grants involves providing documentation that proves eligibility, such as age, disability status, or income level. The application can be submitted in person or through certain online platforms, depending on the grant type. After applying, there's a verification and approval process that can take some time, so applying early is advisable. As we approach July 2025, many beneficiaries might also be wondering about the impact of inflation and economic conditions on their grants. The government typically reviews and adjusts grant amounts annually, but the actual purchasing power of these grants can fluctuate based on the cost of living. Advocates often call for increases in grant amounts to match inflation, recognizing the critical role these payments play in poverty alleviation. Keeping informed about these discussions can empower beneficiaries to advocate for their rights and needs. Let's also acknowledge the role of community support groups and non-governmental organizations in assisting SASSA beneficiaries. These groups provide education, help with applications, and sometimes offer financial literacy training to help recipients manage their grants effectively. If you're interested, reaching out to local NGOs or community groups can be a great way to get additional support and information. Finally, it's worth emphasizing the importance of planning ahead. Knowing your payment dates allows you to budget your expenses wisely. Whether it's buying groceries, paying bills, or saving for emergencies, having a clear understanding of when you'll receive your grant helps you manage your finances better. If you're caring for a family member who depends on a grant, sharing this information with them can reduce anxiety and help with daily planning. In summary, SASSA grant payments are essential for millions of South Africans, and July 2025 is an important payment cycle to watch. By understanding your payment schedule, verifying your payment method, preparing the necessary documents, and staying informed through official channels, you can ensure that you receive your grant on time and without hassle. Remember, missing your payment can cause complications, so punctuality and preparation are key. If you haven't already, take a moment to visit the official SASSA website or contact your local SASSA office to confirm your exact payment date and method. Register your mobile number for SMS updates if you haven't done so yet, and keep an eye on official announcements to avoid surprises. And if you encounter any issues, don't hesitate to seek help from community support groups or local government offices. As always, if you found this video helpful and want to stay updated on all things related to SASSA grants, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you accurate and timely information that truly matters. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an update, especially with critical payment schedules like these. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video with more valuable updates.